Good evening. How are you? This is Shango Ray, aka Real Deal Ray, aka El Rey de Cache. Okay, we are on the eve of a major full moon, lunar eclipse, and of course, a major ritual, the multi-dimensional mega magnetism ritual. And one of the things that was brought to my attention, well, we're going to cover this a lot. There's a compendium video that goes along with the ritual, but is will, like your will, how to will your magnetic magic, which you're doing anyways. You know, as I've spoken before, this video it's going to be pretty brief because I have a lot of work to do in preparation for this, and I want to have everybody's link sent out early tomorrow, Wednesday. There's still about maybe, 16 hours left that you can join. So, if you want to learn more about what I'm about to speak on, then, and also, of course, amplify, empower, and simply, revolutionize your magnetic magic as it applies to your personality, your world, your reality, and how you function and move through this world, and just how important it is. And you definitely want to join the multidimensional mega magnetism ritual. It's going to be one for the history books, okay? Now, I do want to say this. Consistency does play a major role. Think about anything that you're good at now. You're either consistent at it now, or there was a whole lot of consistency that led up to right now, which is why you're good at it. So, some of the things in this compendium video are going to be rehearsals. We are properly going to be rehearsing. And when I say rehearsals, I mean these rehearsals can be anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes a day. Something simple. I'd rather you start simple, and a lot of times the most powerful things are simple anyway, as you know. So what is your will? It's hard to really define your will. I want you to do something for me though, okay? Let's put our hand up like this, okay? I want you to think about making a fist. Really think about making a fist. I want you to picture making a fist. I want you to tell your hand, make a fist. Move, make a fist. And then just go like that. Right? You see, there was the thinking of it, all these other things, but then there's that moment that it's like you just projected it. All of that in one, and it was almost just like a fleeting feeling of about a millifraction of a second. Just that right there is your will. Many of us spend a lot of mental masturbation on the other side, thinking of it, picturing it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a pen right here, right? Like if it's just right there, I can sure think about picking up that pen, this and that. And sometimes you can catch yourself thinking of things when you're lazy. You know how it is, like you just got relaxed, you're perfectly comfortable, and you realize you left your drink over there, or the remote's over there, or whatever the case is, and you're just like, you have to really will yourself to get your ass up. Well, the will is going to be one of your main operators. It is the main operator. The problem is, it's not that. The challenge for many people is they don't necessarily have a strong will. Those in power know that. It's been asked, can you take over somebody's will. Somebody with a clear, well-defined, strong will, it's going to be extremely difficult. But the average person does not have a strong will at all. It's kind of like a flim-flammy, maybe type of thing, you know? It's very lukewarm. It's very, and so there was not an actual really will to begin with. Now, this video, I'm going to just talk briefly also about how belief ties in with this and why it is so important to believe that you are magnetic, that you are magic. And I know that sounds very, kind of Stuart Smalley affirmation type thing, but we're going to take it a little bit deeper as far as how it relates and why it's so important. And it's almost, we've all heard this before, and it can sound so simplistic that it might be a little easy to overlook. But I assure you, and on the other hand, I kind of warn you, do not overlook that part, for it is one of the most foundational parts. Now, what does belief and will have to do with your magnetic power? Well, first of all, you have to believe that you are magnetic. Do you believe that you are magnetic? Seriously, do you believe it? Do you know it? If you truly do, and you answered yes, then you've already won half the battle right there, as you may or may not have known. If your answer is, well, I don't know, or no, that's okay too, because you can always change what you believe. All right? The will is how you empower your aura with any magic, any form, any system, and not even just magic, like even just accomplishing whatever it is that you want to accomplish, or becoming, more importantly, becoming the person you choose to be, that you will yourself to be, because without that will, nothing moves. Now, this is where the belief ties into it. The will never acts in a direction which the mind believes impossible. So you may have some secret disbeliefs, if you will, and a disbelief is actually just a belief. It's the belief in your inability. That's all it is. But for the sake of semantics, we'll just say disbelief, right? So belief, and let me clearly state something too. Just because you believe something, even if you believe it 100%, it does not guarantee your accomplishment of that. But what it does do for you is it removes the barriers of disbelief. Because when you have these disbeliefs floating around inside your mind, and opinions and all these perceptions or disempowering perceptions about yourself and who you are, it acts as a break and a barrier to the efforts of your will. It's kind of like an automatic, it's just like I said, an automatic brake lock that just comes on. You know what I'm saying? It won't let you go. Your will be disempowered. It's like, like a balloon or something. It just pops and deflates the whole thing. You've probably experienced that when you've made efforts to maybe do something or to make some type of change in yourself, and you run up against that disbelief and it just pops the air right out of you. You can feel it. It almost feels like low blood sugar or something sometimes, depending on how severe it is, So, like I said, belief does not guarantee your accomplishment in something. Like, especially let's just say maybe you have some mental problems, and you might be delusional to some way or some kind, but disbelief prevents any accomplishment by the will. And you need your will when you're working with your magnetic magic. Because number one, you have to realize the realization of your magic will often gain half the battle of accomplishment for you. That's a very powerful statement, because I have found that many that I have worked with in the beginning, there is that almost foundation of disbelief. And when I see it, when I recognize it, when I feel it, I know that that's, as I just stated, more than half the battle is getting to be able to, so how do we do that? I would suggest you might want to be, let's go back to that consistency word again. You might want to be more consistent. Think about how important this shit is to you, just to overall, no matter what it is that you want to do, it does not matter. Anything that you have done and accomplished, there was a point in time before you even did it that you believed you could. Maybe somehow you created a picture that felt real enough, which triggered the belief that, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do this. I can do this. I am the person to do this shit. Type of thing. I would suggest, and I'm taking my own advice on this, at the very least, once a week, pick a day of the week. Okay? Let's just say Thursday. Every Thursday, I'm going to check in with myself. It's a commitment, yes. And being consistent with this commitment will pay off huge dividends for you. And what you're going to want to do is, let's just say, every Thursday, I want to check in with myself. As far as my beliefs go, I want to see what beliefs may be, hampering me, hindering me, or supporting me. In this case, we'll call positive and negative beliefs, but let's, for the sake of this video, say that positive, in this case, will mean it makes you feel stronger. Maybe it makes you feel more alive. Maybe it makes you feel more expanded, like my options are expanded, like you have more choice. Maybe you feel lighter, you feel more energetic. You might feel a little bit more joyful. Whatever those are beliefs, we'll just call those positive. And the weaker ones feel more constrictive. They may feel like they're literally sucking your fucking energy out. And, there's probably fear. There's probably anxiety. All that stuff like that. So what you can do is just take a piece of paper, draw a line down. And, you don't have to try and get every single one. Just in this 10 or 15 minutes that you do this, if there's something pressing on your mind or heart, what you can do is, in concerns with this, okay, as far as pressing, okay, let's say there's something that's particularly bothering you today. Maybe there's a particular goal, but when you think about that goal, you get this, you do have a kind of like excited feeling, but then there's this kind of icky, fucked up feeling as well that accompanies this picture, this vision, this objective. Maybe it's an outside external thing. Maybe it's something or a change within yourself. And when you think about it, there is the elation followed by a deflation, like, yeah, but, whatever that is. Anything after the yeah, but, you could put on the negative side. Okay? Now, what I would like you to do, and I would suggest you do, is you go kind of what I call mining for jewels. So what you might ask yourself is, let's just say, okay, what are we at here? 14 minutes? Okay. Let's just say it's about a job. Maybe you want a particular kind of job. Maybe you've been working whatever, shitty little jobs or just whatever. And you're like, you know what? I really would like to work there. That shit looks really cool. I really want to be there. And as soon as you say that, you start noticing like maybe you get the bubble guts or something like that, you know. So you would look for anything after the but, like I said, is usually the negative. Yeah, I would like to work there, but. So you would just write that down, okay? And then what you could also do to follow this up is, well, has there been any other time in regards to something like this? Maybe a particular job I wanted at one time, then I got it and I figured out I didn't want it. You know, that's a positive. It don't even have to be the same type of thing, okay? This particular example, we're talking about a job, but what other examples that have I kind of defied my odds? They are there. I'm telling you they are. I mean, I can't tell you what they are because I'm not you. But if you look, you will find them. They're called confirmations because you can confirm this shit. This is in you history. It's in the books. You can check it. You know what I'm saying? It's there. So sometimes also finding a little bit of proof helps you to kind of get that leverage to say, you know what? And last but not least, what you would like to do is obviously there may be some action required, going online or going inside and talking to somebody about it, you know? So where you may have been kind of hung up before, you can take a moment, let yourself breathe naturally, because you're naturally going to breathe in a way. If you just kind of let yourself breathe naturally, is what I'm saying. When you're stressed out, you're not breathing naturally. I'm not talking about doing a particular kind of breath or any of that. Let your own nature kind of take over to fill you with your ashe, with your prana, with your chi, whatever you want to call it. And then you can even say to yourself, hey, okay, this is what I've got written out. And this is just concerning one particular thing. Because you can have some strong, powerful beliefs and your will could be powerful in, let's say, one area, but in another area, it's riddled with holes. You know what I'm saying? So one day at a time, you can do this every day if you wish. You know, you can make it a daily habit if you wish. It doesn't have to be long, 5-10 minutes. And then you can always just make sure you write it down. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can revisit it. Okay? But what you're going to start to see is you're going to be able to, and this is just one way to kind of do this. This is a very light, very simple way. Okay? There's a lot of different ways to do this. You know, you can use hypnosis. You could do all kinds of things. You can do certain magic rituals, you know, specifically about that. But what I'm saying is, okay, so I don't want to do, so let's say I have my little list. Maybe I got 2 or 3 things on the positive, 2 or 3 things on a negative. And I'm saying, you know what? I do recognize these negative traits. I do feel uncomfortable about them. I acknowledge that. Right now, I'm kind of feeling uncomfortable, but I'm going to go in there and talk to the manager and just see what happens. It's that simple. But you can apply that simple thing to anything. Okay? And what that's going to do, no matter in what area you do it, it's going to end up strengthening your will and also your trust in yourself to be able to say, hey, because a lot of people, when they say, I'm going to do something, they think that that's not really the will, because the will, you'll know it's your will because you're going to move. You know, if you say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, that's not the will. So some people may think they have a weak will. You do not have a weak will. You have a strong will. Like, once again, you've just been either not using it or you've been using it to serve your limitations. Okay? It's my intention this video serve you to your highest good. Join the multi-dimensional, because you're a multi-dimensional being requiring multi-dimensional magic, baby. All right? The multi-dimensional mega magnetism ritual comes with the ritual, also with a compendium video, some other goodies. You will find the link in the description box. Get there now while you can, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.